Alrighty, well, we're gonna go ahead and get started here. Thank you again for joining us today. We are super excited to just give you a high-level overview of what EDlumina is. My name is Samantha Bauer. I am our product manager of EDlumina here at Siena Education Services, and joining me today is
Ashley Gokshock, your account executive. We are so excited to have you join us, and like Sam said, we are going to give you just an overview of what EDlumina is and some of the key features of the product. If you have questions at any point throughout the webinar, please feel free to submit those through the Q&A section of Zoom, and we'll go ahead and dive into the demo. I'm going to share my screen here. Awesome. So just a little bit of background information about Siena. We are a US-based company here in Central Ohio, and we were founded in 2008 to unite compliance and technology. We do three things really well, and that is compliance. So we help schools with licensing and accreditation. We also help with curriculum development, and we have EDlumina, which is what you are here to learn about today. So we will go ahead and dive into EDlumina. So right here is the first page that you would see when you log into EDlumina, and this is where all of your leads are listed, and you can see all of your brand new leads that have hit the system.
Awesome. Currently, we have a couple different filters here. Right now, we are on My Follow-Up, so this is nice that you can see your reps. This is where they will go to and know what they have to do every single day. They can come in. This is a to-do list. Their leads will filter from ones who do not have follow-ups created, that they need to get something scheduled, and then go from there. The red will show up that they are past due, so maybe you were really busy or something like that doing appointments. You always know where you need to catch up. And then you would have your future appointments show up in black. The other filter that we have here, which again, as Ashley said, in lead activity, it always filters to lead in. These are your hottest leads. For example, you go to lunch, you give a tour, something where you're away from your desk, but you can come back and you can know the leads that have requested and you need to get to as soon as possible and create follow-ups for. With this, everyone views an admission software differently. So if you are a director of admissions or a rep, you may be viewing things differently. So it's nice that we have these headers that Ashley's showing you here. You can move those around, adjust what you need. You also can scroll all the way over and you will see that you can remove and add these headings as well. So for example, another example would be marketing. A lot of our clients give their marketing companies access to this so they can track lead source or vendor source. So they can remove what they need and they can just really focus on that. And it's nice because this filter adjusts to the user that's logged in. So if you have a specific way you want to view things every time you log in, it will filter to this. Within this lead activity page as well, you can do searching, you can do a number of different things, which we'll cover at a later webinar. But this is our actions button over here. This is where you can mass message. You can be selective in who you're sending your messages to. You can add events from here. You can always reassign leads if you need to another user or a rep. You can also keep in mind that you can always export any of these filters as well into an Excel, so you can manipulate those further as needed.
Awesome, thanks Sam. So we are going to dive into a lead profile now. So to get to a lead profile, you would just click on the lead, and here it will take you to the lead profile. So when we dive in here, what you can see is the basic information about this lead. One great feature is we have the ability to upload an avatar, so you can put an image, or the student can upload an image of themselves so that you can put a name to the face. We also have all of their basic information listed at the top here, such as phone number and email address. And then over here in the corner, we have our messaging. And this is really awesome because you can email or text your students right out of EDlumina. And that is great because all of your communication is stored right here in the system. So everybody can see the communication that has taken place, and students can reply to your emails and texts, and they will populate right here in EDlumina. Moving down here, we have our progress bar. And this is customized for each school. So during implementation, we would work with your school to learn exactly what your admissions process looks like so that it can be customized to fit your needs. The great thing about our progress bar is that with each step in the system, you can set up automated messaging. So for example, with lead in, when a lead hits your system, you can set up an automated message to go out thanking them for your interest in the school and letting them know that a rep will be in contact with them shortly. And as we scroll down here, you will just see basic information about the student. You'll have their contact information. You can do events in here, so you can schedule events, complete events, and have all of the past history available to you. You can add notes. And then documents is another key feature that people love within EDlumina.
Yep, they sure do. It's almost like an e-file. So with documents here, you can, during implementation, we'll really discuss what documents are needed for a lead to become an enrollment. So for example, you have application, maybe a high school diploma, a photo ID, but we also, not only that, can collect those within the system, and students can upload those, which again, we can cover later. But you can also, we can design all these documents within the system. So if you have an application, we can take that, we can build it in the system. Here, Ashley has an example of an application, and we're able to collect e-signatures, and then also you can attach payments to this as well. So if you have an application fee or an enrollment fee or anything like that that you need to collect prior to them becoming a student, you can go ahead and collect that within EDlumina as well. Lastly, at the very bottom here, again, anything you put into EDlumina, you'll get out of EDlumina. So it's important to keep all of that tracked. So here at the bottom, we have enrollment. So if your student is in the right program, they're in the right cohort, we've collected all their documents, you can go ahead and enroll them. And this would then take all that information and put it into our academics or our student information system. Again, we're not going to cover that today, but just know that all this information is nice because it goes right into that system. Here at the bottom, I know some schools do have what we call an add drop period or something like that. So once a student starts, you can then start to collect information as far as if students have started or not started. You can click that, and then again, that will go back for reporting purposes, which we will get to in a moment.
Great, thanks, Sam. Yes, so now we are going to dive more into the reporting side of EDlumina. So we have a lot of one-click reporting available to you within EDlumina. As you will see as I scroll down here, we have a lot of reporting within EDlumina. So we will save that for a future webinar, but right now we're just going to focus on a few of our most popular reports. But within here we have dashboard reporting, we have status reports, demographic reports, efficacy and actions, along with user reports. So the first report that we are going to cover is our lead trends report. So I will pull that up.
Awesome. Yep, so our lead trends report is probably the most used, I would say, report that we have. And we've enhanced it a little bit as well, which I'll get to in a moment. But you can see here that you can show a specific date range. It'll show an overview of how you are doing within that date range. You can do it by campus. And then also you can break that down into the campus dashboard. So you can break it down by program. So and see how your leads to enrollments are doing for that as well. And then also you can now, this is something that we've just added, you can now click on these numbers and know exactly who those contacts or appointments scheduled were and what rep is user is associated with that.
Awesome. Yeah, so that's our lead trends report. Another popular report is our rep activities timeline report.
Yep, and so this is just basically a rep user, and you can pull it based on a specific date range and know everything they're doing in the system. So good or bad, but you can know that your reps actually are, active within EDlumina and really using EDlumina to its full potential. So if they've closed a lead, you can look at that. If the lead is labeled as a hot lead, or if they've updated a profile, you can see what profile that was. So this is a really brand new, as of this week, report that we've rolled out.
Yes, and another new report is our user metrics report.
Yep, and this just kind of just keeps track of just the specific, a quick glance at some specific data between the date range as well. So you can look to see if anyone added a new lead or if they've moved or had events scheduled. So again, just a quick glance to see what reps are doing.
Awesome. And the last thing that we want to show you here in EDlumina is our admin dashboard.
Yeah, so this is something that, again, it is newer, but we added this data visualization dashboard. So really, schools and businesses can get a quick glance of how their business is doing. The colors look great, but you can just look at this and kind of see how everything's doing. If you want, you can scroll over the graphs and see as well, like numbers associated with those too. And then the last thing we really want to show you, which is new as well, is we do have EDlumina themes now. So if for any of our current EDlumina users that are here, you can now view this in dark mode. So you would just go to the user profile and you can use dark mode or light mode, whichever you prefer, but the dashboard looks really nice on this. So that's definitely something new we just rolled out this week as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Sam. Okay, so that gives you a good overview of some of the key features within EDlumina. So at this point, we are going to see if we've received any questions, and we'll take some time to answer a few of those and see what we can get to. Oh, it looks like we do have one. Okay, Sam, our first question. How do student leads get into EDlumina?
That's great. We get questions about this a lot. So how leads come into EDlumina, there's really two different ways today. You can add a lead manually, which is great if they call in or they walk in. You can always add them that way. And again, we would show you how to do that during implementation. And then also the other option would be to work with your web developer, and we can do that through an API. And again, we will work with your web developer on making sure all the leads are directed correctly and things like that. So they can come through the API, or you can add them manually.
Great, thank you. All right, another question that we received is, can you get the electronic documents out of the system? That's a great question.
Yes, good question. So yes, you can do this. All documents can be downloaded as a PDF, so you can use those. If you want to keep a paper file or need them for whatever reason, you can always print those off via PDF.
Awesome. All right.
Oh, this last question should be for you.
All right. Yep, our last question is, what does EDlumina cost? So just like no school is one size fits all, we recognize that here at Sienna, and so we would work with your school to determine your needs to give you pricing. So if you are interested in learning more about EDlumina, what the cost would be, and how we can maybe fit within your current admissions process, please shoot me an email. That will be listed in the chat. I would love to connect with you, and we can definitely schedule something to go a little bit more in depth about EDlumina, learn more about your school, and we can discuss pricing at that time.
Awesome.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining. We just wanted to really just give you a high-level overview of EDlumina admissions. This is really fun. You're not going to get rid of us that quick. We will do more webinars. We'd love to do more and more in-depth of EDlumina and show you more of what we have to offer. But thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. We hope to connect with you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.